Hi, we're at HANKSTERS in Daytona Beach, Florida, and we got a real special guest on the floor today. Whenever I started going over this vehicle, I can't find anything that doesn't reek quality or refinement. The car is just completely insanely done to the nth degree. I mean, there's nothing that is on this vehicle that hasn't been addressed, polished, chromed, painted to the nth degree. And performance-wise, it's been enhanced a lot too. It's a 360. I'm sure this thing's making well into the middle fours for horsepower. It has a Vortex supercharger on it. It has power steering, power brakes, air conditioning. Everything is either polished aluminum or chromed on this engine compartment. One of the two. It does have a new dual-stage master cylinder. It does have a new power brake booster on it. A 4-pass, possibly even a 5-pass aluminum radiator in it. Aluminum air conditioning condenser. K&N filter out the front. The radiator has 2 cooling fans on it with the correct shrouding for those fans also. So you have a maximum cooling capacity of this particular car. The paint underneath this hood is the same as what you see on the fenders or anywhere else on this car. Underneath the hood is finished to that quality. The inner fender panels the same way. They have the same high gloss, wet look black paint that the rest of the vehicle retains. Also, the firewall's been smoothed out completely, and everything on there is just absolutely reflective because of how flat the firewall is at this point, and the paint being as deep and shiny as it is. The motor, like I said, is extremely, extremely strong. It's making at least into the middle fours horsepower-wise. It is an automatic transmission. It does have all the amenities with it as far as steering, brakes, and air. One-of-a-kind vehicle. We're going to show you the outside of this. We've already done an undercarriage vehicle of the vehicle, an undercarriage presentation. The undercarriage of this vehicle is unlike anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Someone had to spend, I don't even want to guess how much money they have in doing this undercarriage of this vehicle, let alone the top part of it. And the interior, wait till you see that. We'll go around the rest of the car and make... Okay, HANKSTERS, Daytona Beach, Florida. 1955 Dodge Lancer Wagon. But unlike one that you've never seen before, this is just over the top. I can't even over-describe what we have here. The paint on this vehicle is literally wet looking, and it looks like it's a foot deep. The fit, the finish, the gaps on the front end, the chrome on this vehicle is show quality. It's not standard old bumpers and standard chrome on this thing. Someone spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to bring this car to this degree of perfection. Bezels around the headlights are absolutely flawless. No marks on the front end whatsoever. There is absolutely not one single chip or mark or anything on the front end of this car. Again, this bezel's the same way. And the grille, again, the chrome on this thing is literally show quality chrome. The front end of this vehicle is unlike anything that you've seen before. It's just so well done and so well done to perfection that it's hard to believe it's a 1955 Dodge, but it is. Down the side of our Lancer wagon, you can see, again, the degree of perfection on the paint and fit and everything on this vehicle. The way the hood goes up to the cowl area, which, by the way, they deleted the windshield wipers to keep a nice smooth look on this, and it's not the type of vehicle that you're going to use on an everyday basis and drive in the rain anyway. So there are no wipers on this particular vehicle, not even a fitment for them. They've been completely negated on this vehicle. The two-tone paint, again, it's as simple as it could possibly be. There's no chrome trim on this vehicle. They tried to make it as plain, but as aesthetically pleasing as you could possibly make one. You can see the silver and black blend together. They have like a fade system between the silver and the black. Fitment of the front fender to the door is absolutely stunning, and to the rocker panel. No fender lip moldings on this guy. Billet aluminum wheels, front and rear. 22s in the rear, 19s in the front with some high dollar tires on them. 4-wheel disc brakes, which you also see in the undercarriage video. Car is just so over the top, I'm just totally overtaken by the vehicle. I mean, I'm looking for things and I can't find anything on this vehicle to even point out to you. Nothing. Windshield is like new. There's no marks, there's no wiper smears or anything on them. Trim around it, again, is, you know, delete of the chrome or stainless trim that would be around the windows naturally. Same thing for the back. They eliminated it completely. The roof, there's not a single imperfection in this thing. Looking across it, you know, panning across it, you can't see a deviation, a ding, a mark, an imperfection in any way. Side mirrors painted black, of course, to match the rest of the car. Again, no trim around the windows on this particular vehicle. The wipes are nice as can be. They've even eliminated the stainless steel on the outside here to keep a nice clean black look through the whole theme of the vehicle. Door the same way. There's not a single mark, not an imperfection. You can't feel anything from the quarter to the door. Notice there are no door handles. There are a couple of buttons underneath the quarter panel you can hit with your foot or touch with your finger that actuate the door mechanism. So you can get into it, thank God. But clean of any door handles. No wipers, no door handles. You do have access, obviously, to the vehicle, though. Tinted glass on the sides. Again, no trim on the sides of this vehicle. It's as long as a house, but you can see the Dodge is also painted on there. There's not a there's not a deviation in this thing anywhere. Absolutely nowhere. Trim around the back window the same way, nice and black around the edge. This thing's totally amazing. Somebody had to have 100 grand in his car at least. At least. There's nothing. When you look down the side, when I tell you there's no gaps, it doesn't appear to have any doors, it doesn't even have any handles on it. Everything is smooth and just makes one solid transition from rear to front. It's an absolutely flawless vehicle down the driver's side. Let's see if we can find something in the back. Okay, around the back end of our Lancer wagon, you can see the trim around the windows or lack thereof. In the back is the same as the front. They're trying to keep the theme as plain as possible. Paint on the back of this is the same as it is everywhere else on this vehicle. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. Bumper fitment, it's just, for 1955 or any year for that matter, it's as good as you'll ever find a bumper fit. It's absolutely flawless. Laterally, fore and aft, everything is just the way it should fit. Chrome around the rear tail lights. No backup lights on this particular guy either, so it does have tail lights. The lenses are nice and shiny and clean. The chrome is, again, show quality, as is the rear bumper chrome on this also. Really a neat looking vehicle. There is a HANKSTERS plate on the side, but the license plate actually is underneath the bumper of the car. And there are two solenoids on it so that you can actuate the bumper, or the license plate, so that it folds up or goes back down at your discretion. With 450 horsepower, gee, I wonder why you want to move that up. Fantastic vehicle across the back, and again looking across the roof. Everything is laser straight on this vehicle. We haven't found one single imperfection in this vehicle yet. No BS, there are none. Okay, starting at the rear, our 55 Lancer wagon, even the gas filler door has no deviation to it. It's just as lined up as perfectly as could possibly be. I love the way they did this striping, where they faded the silver into the black. It's just fantastic. Again, no trim on it, you know. They don't need it. This car reeks quality everywhere you look. You don't need anything shiny on this car chrome-wise to accentuate it, other than the wheels, which really do a great job of it. Those 22-inch wheels in the back are huge. They're absolutely huge. No marks anywhere on this vehicle. Nowhere. I have no idea how they got these doors to fit. in such precision as they did. There is absolutely no deviation whatsoever from the door to the quarter to the rocker panel or the front fender. It's it's like they were there and they cut them off with a saw and then put them back on. The gaps, everything is just absolutely perfect. Again, no handles back here. We do have a power mirror for this side, though. There's nothing. There's not one single. I've been over this car. You've seen me take my hands over the entire vehicle. I haven't found a mark, a deviation, a ding, a chip. Not a single stone chip anywhere in this vehicle. Same thing, the door and the front fender and the rocker panel. It's all laser straight. There's not a single deviation on this car anywhere. It's a 1955 Lancer Wagon Custom. And by custom, this thing's been addressed in every possible direction. You know, both powertrain-wise, suspension, chassis, interior, which you'll see in a few minutes here. It's a custom vehicle that has been done to the absolute nth degree. There is nothing left on this vehicle to address. I mean, whoever did this vehicle, Kevin got it out of a private collection. I don't know how he finds some of these vehicles or how he gets some of the people to give them up, but this particular vehicle, you can see, has been a labor of love for someone for quite a few years to get it to this degree. Absolutely one of a kind. You will not find another one like this, and it's available here at HANKSTERS, Daytona Beach, Florida. Okay, we're in our 55 Dodge Lancer Wagon. It smells like a new wallet in here. Gee, I wonder if it's all the leather. Hand-stitched leather dashboard on it. Everything is custom done. Hand-stitched leather dash and accents, trim around the windows, no sun visors, a suede type Alcantara headliner in this vehicle, which is a hard one, but it is Alcantara from front to back. You don't see it, but there is a flop down television in the headliner of this vehicle. It also has a television in this DVD CD player that's in the dash, a real high dollar Pioneer system. Has a quartz clock, speedometer, tachometer, amp, fuel, temp, oil, all white face gauges, tilt steering wheel, a really unique steering wheel, by the way, smaller, nice fat leather covered, of course, power windows, power seats, power recliners, air conditioning. In the glove box center console is a gauge also with your lift mechanism that you can lift this vehicle up as high as you want, or whenever you're parked, lower it down to where it really looks sweet. Carbon fiber accents across the front of the dash here. Carpeting is cut pile carpeting that's black, obviously. The door panels, everything on this vehicle is precision. Everything fits as it should. Everything is the highest quality that you could possibly buy to put a vehicle like this together. Everything works as it should. This is a one-of-a-kind vehicle done to the nth degree, obviously not used as an everyday driver because of the quality involved in this and the fact that it doesn't have wipers. The car is just absolutely astronomical. It's one of the highest quality cars I've ever seen in my life. We had a 55 Chevy in here that we just sold recently this week that was very close to this quality. But this car is so over the top, suspension and driveline wise, that I couldn't over describe how well this car is done. You'll see it in the Undercarriage video. You'll see it obviously in the one that we just did for the interior and of the engine presentation. This car is available at HANKSTERS in Daytona Beach, Florida, and probably nowhere else in the world. Hi, we're at Daytona Beach HANKSTERS, and we're underneath a really neat custom 1955 Dodge station wagon. It's a two-door wagon, lots of glass on the side of this thing. But what's really amazing is this undercarriage. Totally out of this world. It has a full box, square box perimeter frame, front to back, with every conceivable structural support that you could possibly add to this thing for rigidity. It appears to be a Mustang power steering rack for the steering system on this vehicle. Double A-arm front suspension, front disc brakes, new calipers, stainless hardware for them, braided stainless lines, a full air system for this vehicle, front and rear, to lift the car up and down. There is nothing on this vehicle that hasn't been addressed over the top. I mean, absolutely to the nth degree. Has a set of, appear to be ceramic coated 1.5-inch shorty headers on it that transition into 2.5-inch stainless steel polished exhaust main pipes, transitioning back into a set of Flowmaster polished stainless mufflers. Everything on this thing is either braided stainless steel or stainless line-wise. There's a huge, huge transmission oil cooler underneath here. You can see it finned with braided stainless lines also. This is a 360 Vortex supercharged engine in this vehicle. Chrome oil pan. Notice no leaks, none whatsoever. All the bushings appear to be polyurethane bushings in this front end. New radius rods, new ball joints, new everything. Everything under this vehicle has been addressed to the nth degree. It's a show quality vehicle in every aspect. 4-speed overdrive automatic transmission, late model Mopar. Again, everything stainless underneath here. As we go back through, you can see also no leaks in the bell housing area or the transmission itself. Absolutely no leakage whatsoever. The floor pans on this vehicle appear to be all original. Even the drop downs, when they go over, transition over the top of the frame with the structural supports going down to the rocker panels, all that appears to be original and undisrupted in any way. The body mounts are polyurethane from here to me. I don't see any problems whatsoever in the floor pan area at all. It doesn't appear to have ever been marked or jacked up on the floor pans inadvertently anyway. A couple little tiny marks on the frame where it had been jacked up through the years, but that's to be, you know, that's to be expected. I don't see anything that is out of place in this vehicle at all. Everything is to the nth degree. Like I said, back into the stainless Flowmaster mufflers, braided stainless line for the fuel line, stainless steel lines for the brake lines, everything on this thing halfway back through it, new ball joints, new drive shaft, new U-joints on the drive shaft. It is the strongest frame I've ever seen in my life. I've never even seen a frame on a truck that is this structurally supported as this one. The engine cradle itself has even been hand fabricated out of square tubing to hold the engine. It just, everything is custom, everything is done to the nth degree. There's not an issue under this vehicle anywhere. Nowhere. Okay, again, 2.5 coming out of our Flowmaster mufflers. You can see more structural support here. They've fabricated a 4-link rear suspension on this particular vehicle. They're using a 9-inch Ford rear end, which is as heavy duty. The only thing heavier than that is a Dana 60 from Mopar. Everything on this thing is to the nth degree. Again, all the bushings in the rear, polyurethane, airbags in the back. You can see are brand spanking new, just like they are in the front. They work simultaneously to lift this car. Exhaust system, stainless at least back to here. It's painted. I'm going to assume it's mild still from this point on, but it's painted silver. Disc brakes in the rear. They've modified the fender wells to fit these huge tires. Again, the framework on the rear is all hand fabricated out of rectangular or square steel tubing. Just any place that you could address a vehicle to increase its structural rigidity has been done to this vehicle. I can't imagine anyone producing a vehicle this way from the factory. It's stronger than any truck I've ever seen. 3/4 ton trucks don't have anywhere close to the rigidity that this does. Air reservoir in the back, pump in the rear that actuates your airlift system. 2 solenoids back there, also very serviceable for the air system. A neat license plate that flops back and forth if you decide to hide it from the police when you're going down the road, or if you lower the car down so it doesn't flatten down on it. Custom built gas tank. Could possibly be a fuel cell. I really can't tell without opening it up, but it is a custom built fuel system on this vehicle. Anything under this vehicle is over-engineered. No one has ever produced a vehicle like this from the factory. Everything is custom, everything is hand fabricated. It's done to the absolute nth degree. Electric fuel pump, again, everything braided stainless. I don't even know where to begin and where to end on this thing. The car is just absolutely phenomenal underneath. It's the most impressive undercarriage chassis I've ever looked at in my entire life, and I'm not even a fan of these old 50s cars, and this car just knocks me out. I can't imagine the number of man hours it took to build a vehicle to this extent. This thing is just one of a kind, and when you see the video walk around on this thing, you're going to flip out.